Alright, so I'm back inside of Rise crossover, and in today's video I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to max out your shadow damage. As you guys can see, I got mine to 132 SX per snow, and then my magma's doing almost 130 SX as well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to max that out. So the first thing is pretty self-explanatory. You want to make sure you have all N ranks. Now there is also N plus rank units which only come in Monarch. You can only pull them from luck, so you can't actually craft that, but there is N plus. But for the most part, you want to make sure you have all N rank units, or shadows. So I have 5 snows, 3 magmas, and ideally you want to make these both snow and magma as well, because those ones are like at the top. They're pretty much equal in damage, but these ones are a bit under, as you guys can clearly see from the damage. But yeah, first thing you want to do is make sure you have all N ranks. Now, second thing that's really important is Relics. Now, Relics is a bit weird. So, right now, my full damage build, I have an S rank Crown of Snow, S rank Echo Shard, and an S rank Radiant Crest. Now, obviously, these could all be better if I got an SS version of these, but I low-key don't want to grind that out. But just know it can be higher if you get SS of all these. Now, you might be wondering why I'm not using Hive Plate, as that gives you 6 shadow level, and why I'm not using Warren Token, as that gives you almost 4 shadow level. Well, it's pretty simple. Those ones are not as good as these 3, and I can only have 3 equipped. Also, if you see the shadow damage relics, those ones are not worth it. I would 100% recommend shadow level over damage any day of the week. Currently, the top 3 strongest relics for shadow damage is Crown of Snow, because it gives you shadow level. Echo Shard also gives you shadow level. And then Radiant Crest gives you shadow level as well as weapon damage. Now, Radiant Crest used to be replaced by Hive Plate, as that gave you shadow damage percent and shadow level, but as I said, shadow level just is so much better than Hive Plate. As you guys can see, if I unequip this and I equip the Hive Plate and then I go to my shadows, only 121 SX. Meanwhile, if I have the the Radiant Crest, my shadows now do 132 SX, so almost 10 SX more with Radiant Crest, and that's equal rank, I believe. Yeah, S rank and S rank. So yeah, overall, you want to make sure you have the best relics. Now, the way you get Crown of Snow is the winter event. I believe it's the Snow Monarch you kill for this. Echo Shard, I believe it's Face Heal Town dungeons. And then Radiant Crest is the new dungeon at Hunter City. So these 2 are dungeons, this one's an event. Now, the next way you can max out your damage for your shadows is your guild. So here's our guild right here. We low-key need people. We only got 51 out of 80. But as you guys can see, if you go to the guild over here, there's a shadow boost which you can buy. So we're not really focusing on that right now, as the shadow slots just came out, but this is low-key gonna take a minute. Probably not gonna happen till the next update as well. But yeah, shadow boost in here, this will increase your damage for your shadows, and also make sure you have extra relic, because obviously this should probably be the first thing you get, but it's relatively cheap now that I think about it. Now, one more way you guys can max out your shadow damage is if you go to your stats. So, if I go into my level, I'm level 204, but you want to make sure your power maxed out. So, by every point you put into here, the shadow damage will increase by 5%, which is pretty good. It's actually very good. So, shadow power is definitely worth it over weapon mastery no matter what, really, especially in the meta right now. But, yeah, make sure you max out shadow power if you want full damage. Then one more new way is titles. So there's actually only 2 titles that affect damage. Actually no, 3. So we got this one, shadow damage plus 10%, which is you just get level 10, and then yeah. Then you got Snow Monarch, which is the Winter Raid Champion quest. Gives you 20% shadow damage. But the main one is called Master, which gives you 10 shadow levels, and you have to reach level 200 to get this. Now, to be fair, this is extremely hard to get. But leveling up is significantly easier now, because they made it so dungeon bosses and NPCs give you more. Plus, they made it so that the world events give you more. But on top of that, you can now go into the shop, and with your tickets, you can do daily quest reset and weekly quest reset. So, yeah, these give you a hefty amount, I'm not going to lie, especially the weekly ones. There's some that give you like 15k, and if you have 2 times XP plus a XP potion going, then you'll level up like 5-6 times. So low-key is pretty easy right now, at least, to level up. Speaking about leveling up, you also want to make sure that your rank is the highest, as right now you can see on top right, the highest rank is M+, so make sure you're at that level, because I don't know the exact stats because there's so many ranks now, but I know for a fact that each rank higher gives you shadow damage. And also your level, so I'm level 204, each level you get, your shadow damage increases by 1%. So if I get to level 225 on the bottom, or 226 I believe is max, so if I get to that, then my shadows will do more damage as well. Now I guess I can throw this in too since it technically works, but there's also shadow potions which increase your shadow damage by 50%. Not really helpful because it's only for 10 minutes, and it's only good if you're trying to like get a checkpoint in the Infernal Castle or something. But yeah, overall that's how you get your shadow DPS really high and to like the end game area, which is pretty nice because right now let's go ahead and test my DPS. So with everything I said, so if I go to my stats, shadow power is maxed out, only level 204, so my level's not maxed out. Then my relics are all shadow level ones. Then my title is also master every shadow level. So what's my shadows? Each snow is doing 132.27 SX. The magma is doing almost 130. Metal's doing 105. Then monarch's doing 75. So let's go ahead and see what's the highest we can reach. And I'm not gonna swing my sword, even though that probably won't do much. But you can see I'm reaching almost 6 SP, which is pretty solid if you ask me. So let's see if it hits 6 right here. And I'll say like 5. 5 is the average I'm hitting. So 5 SP is very solid. Now, I also want to quickly check out the ultimate damage. You can check that in the index. So, ultimate damage of my snow is 1.6 SP. Then my magma is, let's go ahead and see, 1.44 SP. So yeah, their ultimates are very good. So, I'm hovering around almost 5 SP, which is pretty solid. If I probably pop a a shadow potion, I'll probably be almost at 7.5 SP, which is very good. But yeah, also you can get your damage insanely high if you manage to play N plus Monarch, which also they up the chances of getting like rank up stuff. So if you have the rank up runes, the title, and luck on your side, then you can probably get him from the Infernal Castle. Now off the bat, his base damage is 880 SX, and his ultimate is 10 SP, which is actually insane. But yeah, that basically sums up this video on how to get your DPS really high for your shadows. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and also if you want to join the guild, go ahead and let me know down below. But yeah, that's it for this video. Peace.